welcome back to Light in the Rain podcast. We are your hosts, Dominique.
And Brady.
Our podcast allows us to have real, raw, open, honest conversations about hope, grief, loss, faith, the difficult seasons, hard seasons, trusting in God, letting God be your light at the end of the tunnel,
etc.
etc. And today, I guess this episode that you are listening to, episode number 7? Lucky number 7. It might be a little hard to listen to.
Bear with us.
What was I say? Like viewer discretion advised. Because this episode, we just want to share the full story of our son Koleson passing. He passed away January 3rd, 2026, at 4 years, 4 months, 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Almost. He almost was the 444. But
we still go off that.
Yeah.
451.
At 451, and we just want to share his death story because it was beautiful. And it was hard, but it was beautiful. And it's not anything you will be able to fully comprehend unless you experience death in any way. But we just want to share it because, I don't know, I don't want to say to bring awareness, but death can be scary. A lot of people are scared of death. And it was beautiful. It wasn't scary. Him passing was so beautiful. You okay?
Yeah. Processing.
Okay. Do you not agree? Or you're just...
no, I'm just thinking. Okay. You're already thinking as you're talking.
Oh, okay. And if you listened to our last episode, we kind of talked about 2025 and how hard it was on Koleson. And just the changes that really happened to his body and how fast disease progression took place in 2025.
And honestly, how hard it was on us.
And how hard it was on us for sure.
We left off with November.
When that November admission.
I forgot to mention he was septic because of the CRP, but also I remember he had like a 103.7 fever or something like that. Like we came in at like 99.9, which was high for Koleson. We knew that was a red flag because he sat at 95. Mm-hmm. But then like 2 hours later, he woke up with 100. Yeah, it was wild.
November admission was hard.
Yeah.
We knew we were there. But December is when you felt
we got the final answers.
Mm-hmm. In December, you felt it.
The next phase.
Yeah.
I remember.
I think I'm gonna read that.
Yeah. Towards the end. Okay. Yeah. I remember. It was about a week because we wanted after November we wanted so badly just to keep Koleson home. You know, I mean the whole 2025 obviously, but November really hit hard and did a number on Koleson's little body, and for a week we started to track a trend of his ketones.
Well, I think something caused us because at this point we're both working. And Britt is taking care of him at home.
Yeah.
And trying to think of... No. I think it was a third... I worked Thursday nights. Did I work late? I think it was a Thursday night that I was working. And Britt and we took the kids to the Mac.
Yep. Oh, yeah, in the morning.
Yep. And while we were at the Mac, Koleson was sleeping, but he was doing that whole stiffening up, thrashing his body around, not actually crying.
He was doing that at church, remember?
Yes. So we started to notice that he was doing like these things that he was very uncomfortable. He's having more seizures. And we have a whole like sick plan protocol for Koleson. So what we end up doing is we end up checking his ketones and his sugars.
Well, we haven't checked those in a while.
We didn't.
really trend it.
We didn't have to, and we only checked it if he was sick or he was doing something out of his normal like baseline. Like we checked everything that we could check at home to see if there was a cause to why he was acting that way.
Yeah. Do you remember we stayed up that one night and he woke up at like 3 a.m. and was like crying bloody murder, and we were up all night trying to
Soothe him.
soothe him. We cathed him. We
Yeah.
gave him medicine. We gave him a suppository to poop. Like
It was, yeah.
we did all the things, and then that next morning or day, he had the you guys went shopping.
Yeah.
He was having the seizure episodes, and when you guys got back, you were like, let's just check ketones.
Yeah. Something just to check.
We didn't check yet. Yeah.
And the ketones were low. And I think we ended up checking them for like a day or two at home because
I thought it was longer.
I don't even remember. I just know we were checking them at home and we're in contact with his doctors. And because it was like a cycle, we would check him at this time and it would be this level. Then we would feed him and then it would go down. And then he would be fed again. And then it would go up. And then it would go up again. And then be down. Like,
It was a week because we ended up going into the hospital that later the next week, Wednesday or Thursday. Because I remember we trialed at home when Dr. H got back, Dr. Hughes, and she wanted us to try things at home with Leanne
yeah,
with the
like
keto formula,
yeah.
mixing stuff up. Let's see how he does. Let's keep trending. Yada yada yada. I think it was 3 days after
3 days.
because she got back on that Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long story short, like we were in contact with his care team trying to figure out and fix this at home so we didn't have to take him into the hospital. But after nothing working, she was like, okay, you need to bring him in. We kind of need to get like a diagnosis of exclusion because we need to figure out truly what is going on with his body because he's on keto to keep him alive. He needs to stay in ketosis. If he falls out of ketosis, he's going to go into a metabolic crash and things won't be good.
He got down to, I think, the lowest
he had like
0.3.
Like yeah, something like that. Like
0.5 was ketosis for him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the baseline number, but that's what put him in ketosis.
Yeah.
And he got down to 0.3. So you and I were like,
yeah, we were really scared.
Yeah.
And we knew we went August of 23 to DC. And we met with that metabolic specialist out at Children's National in Washington, D.C.
Yep. Put him on the keto diet and saved him.
Yeah, she told us at that appointment that Koleson's bad TPK1 gene that's keeping him alive, one day that gene is no longer going to work. And I can't tell you when that's going to happen, but it's going to give out and he will ultimately pass away because that is what's processing all of his energy for him.
And I remember when we went, we talked about everything, and it was really hard to take in the difference. Colson's disease was already rare. What made Koleson one of one was the fact that he only had your bad gene and missing the other gene that I'm missing of the TPK1.
Yeah.
And all her 3 kids in that family all had just 2 bad genes. So it was just different. And the growth of his brain, it was just so much smaller compared to those kids.
Yeah. It definitely
was like, whoa.
So everything that she said always just stayed in the back of our minds. So I think also anytime he got sick, we knew it was going to take a hit on his health, or anytime, like especially when this whole keto thing, his ketones dropping, I think we both just knew like the time has come.
Yeah.
Like she said that she said this day will come that his body will not be able to keep up with everything. So his care team at Koleson said, let's bring him in and see if we can figure out what's going on. And because we were hospitalized so many times, he had so many declines in his health, and there was no medical reason for the declines besides his overall disease. They finally said, we're going to test everything. We're literally testing for every possible infection that there is to make sure there's nothing that we're missing that's like deep within the body.
Yeah.
We're going to do an MRI just to see what's going on with his brain. Because we need to figure out if this is disease progression. Like, we need to know because that's going to help us make decisions for his future.
And you knew when they said MRI. that it was serious.
Yeah, we knew that if we're at the point of an MRI, things are not good because we always wanted another MRI and they always denied us because they're like, there's no point in an MRI. We know his brain is going to change and the MRI results are not going to change the care that he's going to receive. So when they said it's time for another MRI,
You just knew.
we knew. And still in the hospital, we were checking ketones and sugars like that whole week or whatever. And they were like, let's change this med, let's add this to, like, we were making all these changes and nothing worked. And then we got the MRI results, and the MRI results, they just were like, it's bad. Like, they didn't say those words because the doctor's not going to say that, but they were like,
it was as expected.
It was exactly what they were expecting. His brain stem was very small and damaged. His brain matter itself has shrunk and is now gone because that's what his disease did. It killed off those neurons in his brain, so his brain was actually shrinking for his 4.5 years of life. So I remember Dr. P came in and sat down on the bed, and I'm like, okay, like where are we at? Like what's going on?
Yeah.
And he just said, like, we are at that next stage of disease progression. He never said, like, I think Koleson's at end of life, because I think doctors have to be careful when they say that.
Yeah, it was too hard to know with him.
And it's like, I think doctors have to be careful depending on the situation. Like, it's not like cancer where they could, like, fully monitor it and be like, yes, you have 2 months to live.
Right.
Like, Koleson's disease was untrackable. Like, you could take his clinical presentation, the labs, look at the whole 2025, and you could say, yes, this is the next phase of disease progression, but I can't tell you how much longer he's going to have.
Right.
I remember asking for the chaplain to come talk to us. And she was sweet, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. I feel like this is the end, but no one's going to tell me this is the end. Like, why is no one just saying this is the end to us? And I'm like, I know it's coming. I feel it in a way. I'm like, but how am I supposed to know that it's actually going to happen?
Yep.
And I remember her saying, like, you will just know. Other families that have experienced death of their child, you just know. You get this feeling that's unexplainable, and you literally just know. And I was like, okay, you're a little, like, that's crazy. Like, I'm over here asking for you to tell me how I'm going to know, and you're just going to, like, your response is you're just going to know. Yeah. I'm like, well, I don't want to know. I want the doctors to tell me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you fought so hard on that.
I did. I'm like, just tell me my son is dying. Like, don't beat around the bush. Just tell me. But that, they couldn't say that. Oh. So I think
next phase of disease progression really summed it up.
Like, that is the best they could give me, and we kind of had to read between the lines. And when after that week-ish in December that he was hospitalized, we left knowing that we're gonna all of his specialists, his whole care team, and the hospital team, they're gonna get together with us. We're gonna have a meeting.
Yep.
And we're gonna figure out, okay, if Koleson is in this next phase, what does the rest of his life look like? Mm-hmm. Do we want to stop bringing him to the hospital? Because at this time, like, throughout these hospitalizations of 2025, I'm asking Dr. P, well, what happens if he dies in the hospital? Like, you're telling me he's supposed to just die right here on 8 North? Like, we're supposed to lose our son on 8 North when there's, like, 13 other kids on this floor? We're supposed to be crying and weeping in this room when everyone can hear us? Like, how do you remove his dead body from the room? Like, people are just going to see you wailing his, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think you just were like, it was a lot for you, so I kind of, our brains process things differently.
Yeah.
You weren't totally interested in those fine details, but the way my brain works is I needed to know everything.
Yeah.
If he dies in this hospital, what does it look like? And he told us, he's like, it's a hospital. Like, I bet you if Dr. P could be, like, real and, like, not doctor, he'd be like, Dominique, it's a hospital. What do you think happens? Like,
Yeah.
But he was real. He's just like, it's a hospital. People die here all the time.
Yeah.
Um, he's like, when you're ready, they would wheel him from the hospital room down to the hospital morgue.
Yep.
And then the nursing home. Okay. The funeral home that you choose for Koleson would come and pick him up from the morgue. And I was like, yeah, I don't know about that one. Like, that didn't sound like what I wanted Koleson's end of life to look like. I didn't want him to just go down to some.
If there was one thing we wanted to control, especially you, it was his passing. The, like, scenario and situation and surroundings that he was in.
Because I just felt like, as his mom or as his parents, that, like, if we had any control of making his end of life so peaceful, so comfortable, and so beautiful, like, that's what I wanted to give him. Because his life was such a struggle, like, that's what he deserved. He deserved to go out comfortable in the most beautiful way.
Yeah. So needless to say, that admission was just reality, and we got the diagnosis of exclusion. Mm-hmm. There was no random infection that caused this. Nothing.
And we went home. We had that meeting.
Yeah.
On Zoom. And we, everyone was on the same page that, we have amazing access to virtual care. We had the Title machine that we could do virtual exams on him at home and send it to the providers. We could do Zooms. There's my chart. We were like, we're comfortable with reaching out to a provider at home, troubleshooting at home for however many days. And then if things aren't improving and we think it's something that can be fixed, then we would take him into the hospital. But if it was something that cannot be fixed and we all kind of agreed on it, that we would keep him home. And I think a part of that is thanks to our therapist at the time, because we had a therapy session because when we were just not on the same page with things.
Yeah.
And she said, but imagine if you were in those shoes. Imagine if you were your younger child self and you knew you were dying and you were sick. What would you want the end of your life to look like? Would you want to be rushed to the hospital nonstop and be in a hospital setting and everyone's trying to fix you when you know there's no fixing you? Or would you want to just stay home and be surrounded by your family?
Yeah.
And I think that got both of us on the same page.
Yeah, that was deep.
It was. And it was so true. Like, if I, if Koleson was a typical child, and I feel like he probably would have wanted that.
Yeah.
To just stay home and to not go back and forth to the hospital.
Yep.
So we decided in December no more hospital unless it felt like it was something they could do that we couldn't do at home, and that it was going to do good.
Koleson seemed to love the hospital.
Yeah.
I think he hit the point where I think he was just wanted mom and dad.
Aw, that made me just really sad, because that was, like, so true. Like, he just was he loved being held. Yeah. Us, Britt, he really loved, like, spending time with us at home.
Ooh, yeah. I'm sorry. It's true, though.
It is true. And so we're home from that December admission, and I don't know, we're probably telling family, like, things aren't good. Like, things are not good. Like, his time is very near. I don't know when, but his time is
That's
near.
What we said. We don't know when, but we're here.
And somehow, some way, influenza A.
Yeah.
I don't know. The flu came in the house. I don't know if I was sick or Jovi was sick. I think Jovi was positive.
Yeah.
Was
then
going
a couple days later. Yeah. A couple days later, you got it. Yeah.
I don't know, but flu was in the house, and Koleson was kind of already showing symptoms of having the flu. So we immediately put him on Tamiflu. This, mind you, like, this is like middle of December, like December 10th or whatever.
Like literally.
There.
No, it was a week after that.
Week after.
December 9th was the admission.
You're right. We were there for the week. So this is like right before Christmas time.
Yeah, it was like a week. Yeah, it was.
We're both still working, and it was like We don't have our phones to look, but it was like the weekend before Christmas time or something. And I went into work.
You talking about the 23rd?
Was it the 20? It was the 23rd. Was that a Thursday?
No, Wednesday.
Well, whatever day it was, I went to work late because I think Colson was having a rough morning. But Britt and I got him pretty comfortable. I went to work, and
Hold on.
or was that the day?
That was Tuesday. Yeah.
Was that the day that I think that was the day he was crying at the Mac.
Oh.
Because then we got him comfortable enough at home, and then I went to work, and then within an hour of being home or being at work, Britt called me, and I could hear him in the background.
That's right. Yeah, she called me too.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yes.
We could hear Colson in the background just crying. He was in so much pain. He was in so much discomfort. And I'm so thankful that she called us. Because, like you said, he wanted his mom and dad, for sure. Because when we got home, we were able to get him comfortable.
Yep.
But whatever was going on at that time, it just started the true decline of his, I don't know, of his way to death. I don't know.
End of life. Yeah.
End of life. But I don't know where it was. We'd have to, if we need to look back at dates, like we could. But maybe it was before he cried that day, because he was on the couch laughing, having a grand old time. He's laughing, he's yelling, he's so happy. And we recorded it and we posted on his Facebook page, Colson's Fight. And I remember both of us knew this wasn't good. I'm like, him acting like this, it's always calm before a storm.
Every time.
Colson gave that to us almost every time.
Yep.
If he was happy, having a good time, laughing, we knew he was going to get sick. Something was coming after that.
And it's coming soon. Yep.
So we posted on Facebook. We said, I think this is calm before a storm, but in the meantime, we're just going to enjoy this. And we were unfortunately right.
Yeah.
Because things, I feel like it's kind of a blur, but things happen so fast. He immediately was having trouble breathing. His oxygen declined. He needed oxygen 24/7. He was literally turning like blue, purple, not breathing.
Yep. I remember we had to rush and put him on BiPAP.
On BiPAP because oxygen was not bringing his oxygen level up. We rushed into his room, had to put on BiPAP to get him to breathe. We ended up going to that daycare Christmas party. And this is where things were really complicated when you have a medically complex child and a typical child. Because Jovi still deserved to live her life and to experience things and to have mom and dad's attention.
Yeah.
And Britt planned already. We already had Britt scheduled to work that night so we could go to this daycare party.
Yeah.
And it was hard to leave Koleson, and something in me, I just knew. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if it's a mother instinct or what, but I knew this was not good, that he was sick again and all this was happening. I
on the drive there, you lost it.
I lost it. I cried all the way to Albion because I just knew that this was not good. And I remember I cried all the way to Albion. And then I remember I get into the party and I'm crying and I'm just like, Colson's sick. This is not good. I don't think our family fully understood what was happening. I'm not crying because Colson's sick and he's going to get over it. I'm crying because Colson's sick and he is going to die.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was so hard for so many family members to fully understand that if Koleson was sick, it wasn't like a typical kid being sick. Every time he was sick, it took from his chance of being able to get over that illness. It declined his health every time he was sick.
And you slowly start, he'd get back to his new normal. It kept being a new normal.
Yeah.
And I don't know, December was so hard for me after the mission because it was always something, Koleson would do something, and you guys would be like, this is it. Koleson's not, I don't know. we laugh, but it's true.
I know it was hard.
It was really hard. Yeah.
Because I don't know. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know what day. And I think that was how I processed it and how I got my mind ready for losing him. It's like I constantly was like, today's the day. He's gonna die today.
And
Like
Coulson played a lot of people, man.
yeah, he did for sure. I don't know.
You
Um,
want to talk about December 28th?
no, we need to talk about Christmas.
Mm.
Your family came over Christmas Eve, and
Oh, that morning, Britt and the girls came over.
yep, the morning. And mind you, at this point, we also somewhere in there we had palliative care come in just to do one like kind of like a last checkup. And Coulson, mind you, at this point in December, Coulson's sleeping. He's sleeping almost all day. Um, our goal is
an hour or 2 hours of wake time, and that was it.
He rarely was awake.
Yeah.
He just slept, and then he kind of showed signs of discomfort. So we already knew we were in that mindset of what we need to do right now is keep him comfortable. And I remember palliative nurse came, and I think I again asked like, how do I know if he's like dying? And he said when someone's at end of life, they sleep a lot, less wake periods. They're less reactive to things, and that was Coulson. He was less reactive to Jovi being loud, crawling on him. He didn't wake up.
Didn't startle. Didn't have seizures.
Yeah. He just slept. So that was like another sign of like, yep, like he's there. He's on his way. And we were scared he wasn't even gonna make it to Christmas because his
Christmas Eve was so bad.
His breathing just was
before that was so bad, but Christmas Eve was bad.
Yeah. And your parents and brothers, whatever, they came over, and he had to be on oxygen. He slept. His color fluctuated so bad. He would go from pale to mottled to rosy cheeks, back to pale. But we got through Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day, typically we would go over to my parents, but Coulson legitimately could not leave this house.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking back, it was such a blessing that we got to keep him home for his last almost full month of life. Maybe last 3 weeks of life, 4 weeks, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. But
he got to stay home because he just was not well enough to leave the house. Like, he needed high oxygen levels, like a liter or more.
He was sometimes on 3 liters.
Yeah, he needed so much oxygen, and he needed to be hooked up to his pulse ox. We needed to have rescue meds. Like, it just was too much to even take him out the house. And it's not what he didn't need that. He didn't need to leave the house. If anyone wanted to see Coulson, they can come to our house and see him. I'm not going to make Coulson uncomfortable and lug all of this stuff out of our house for someone else. Like, the accommodations need to be made for Coulson, not for us.
No,
it was for Coulson.
For him, yeah.
We made those decisions for Coulson.
Yeah.
My parents came over Christmas Day. And then I don't know, there was something where I was supposed to go to work, but I think the power was out. So I was with like by Coulson's side for like the last 12 days, I think it is. I was at home with him, taking care of him with Britt. But we got through Christmas. It was the 25th. I don't really remember the 26th, 27th. I feel like it was like
all the same.
It was the same. It was struggling to breathe. His heart rate was really low.
Slept
until like all day
1.
in his bed.
Be up at 1 to 2. Miserable 2 to 3. Back to sleep. I don't know. It was horrible.
It was like just the same thing. We just took care of him, and then it was a Tuesday, right? The 28th. You went to work. I was home, and I just remember walking into his room. And his pulse ox is going off because his heart rate's in like the 40s.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to do about that. And like I think just the sounds of the beeping was just driving me crazy. So I turned it off, and Britt came in, and the house itself, it felt so different in our home. It felt almost heavenly. Like, it was a very peaceful feeling. Like, you just, like, I don't know, it's weird to say that it felt like pure bliss. Like, that's what it felt like. And Britt and I just kind of looked at Koleson, and he didn't look good. And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I'm like, do you think like this is it? And she just was like, everything that I know as a nurse, he just he shows it. Like, yes, like he could really die like any hour, any day. Like, he's there. And she was basing this off of what she knows as a nurse, because she has experienced, death in like another setting in the hospital. And I remember calling you home. Or calling, I don't even know. I just remember like calling you home. I'm like, look, like Cole's not doing well. Like, you probably should come home. I think things are bad. I don't even remember. Like, you have to tell your point, but I just remember I'm like, you need to come home.
Yeah, it was like 10 o'clock. You called, and you're like, things are different this time. This might be it, and this time for real. Like, you need to come home. And I'm just like, I'm busy at work. I have no idea. My morning with him was a typical 5 a.m. morning, getting him his normal stuff and going to work. I didn't get to wake up with that feeling that you woke up with. And I was telling him, I was like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean this? Like, what's going on? I was like, I'll be on lunch in an hour. Let me just come home for lunch. And I remember coming home on lunch, and you just knew that like a shift was happening, but I didn't know how. I didn't get that feeling yet. So I was like, you know what? Let me just finish this day out, and I'm off the rest of the week anyways. He's been doing this for weeks. Like, let's just another day. When I went back to work after lunch, my boss decided that day that everybody could go home early at 2. And this is how God works. Like, when I got home at 2, I got to feel what you were feeling. And, whew, and you knew that we needed to be home, and it was his time. It's crazy.
Yeah. And I feel like I say that a lot. and but again, I don't know where, how it happened, but we reached out to Dr. Diamond.
Yeah.
And we were like, things are different. We truly think Koleson is very uncomfortable, and we think he's not, like, he is actively dying. Like, we think it's his time. And we kind of came up with a game plan, and we asked for morphine, because our biggest thing was keeping him comfortable, and we needed to have morphine in the house. And let me tell you what, getting the morphine was crazy. I don't even know why it was a struggle to get morphine.
It was a nightmare.
I think
Tops didn't have it in Medina.
And then
battling with Strong to get it was a nightmare, because they didn't know if they had it. They had to check this, check that.
Yeah, it just...
How could we get it tonight?
Yes, like, we needed it right away, and then it was like, Strong outpatient can do it, and we're like, well, who's going to Rochester?
Yeah,
and...
like, I don't want to leave him. You definitely not leaving him. Like, what do we do?
Maybe it wasn't even that day. Maybe
it was that night, because my mom went and got it. We would
Your mom and Braxton came that night?
Yep. Yes. Because we needed it.
And then...
Because we got they had a very small dose that was ordered.
I don't know if it was that night, because I thought then your dad and everyone came.
That was like a couple days later.
Was it really? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. All right, we're not doing a timeline here, because it's just such a blur.
Or the next day. I don't even know. Yeah, it is it's our timeline's so long.
Because we got to be by Colson's side 24/7. That we don't even know what a lot of days were. Like, we didn't even know the days, the time, because we were living off of energy drinks for his last days of week, whatever, of life. We were up 24/7. We rarely slept because we just wanted to be awake and watch him in case anything happened.
I just remembered before we continue, I took that 6 weeks off. I went back to work the 8th, worked that day, and we were hospitalized the 9th, that Friday. I believe it was that Friday. Yeah, I had to have been because I went back to work for a day and I had to take PFL.
It just was
Nuts.
crazy.
Yeah.
I
don't know why I just thought of that, but.
Because we needed a break to stop crying.
Yeah.
But okay, so we're talking with Dr. Diamond and like the palliative team at the hospital, and we're just trying to come up with a plan of how to give him morphine, how much to give him, just come up with a plan on how to use this. There's lots of phone calls, because I ended up talking to the guy provider too. But I remember,
oh yeah,
again, we weren't really on the same page. We were really hesitant to give him morphine because there is like this rumor, the stereotype, this, I don't even know what it's called, like just
this assumption.
This assumption of morphine that when you give someone a dose of morphine that they are going to die.
Yeah, the morphine kills them.
That morphine kills people. And that was something we heard, it's in our head. And so we were scared that we're going to give him morphine and he's going to die.
And we reached out to Dr. Diamond that day and she did not answer till later that night and she called us.
But I want to say,
she was so busy because she was on adult care.
She was on adult care. But I want to say, when it comes to the morphine, I think it was Justin that said this. But someone told us that, because we were like, we thought Koleson would have died last week. The way he was acting, we really thought he was going to die. But they said, if you are in so much discomfort.
It was Dr. Diamond.
Someone said it. That if you're in so much discomfort, you're in so much pain, that your body just can't let go. And that kind of made sense to us. Like, that's why they give people morphine. It's not to kill them. It's to keep them comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Because your body is going through so much with the process of dying. Your body's going through a lot. And the morphine is just there to relax you, your body, your brain. Because even if your body is shutting down, your brain is still, depending on the situation, but your brain is still actively working.
Right.
So that's why they give patients like these type of medications.
It's just to give your body the comfortability to actually be able to pass.
Yes.
Doesn't cause the passing.
What God made it to do.
Yeah.
But we got the morphine in the house, but we were hesitant to give it to him because of this,
It was Dr. Diamond because when we called her, she gave us that comfort that we could give it because we gave it that night.
But before she gave that, our pastors came over,
right? Yeah, you're right, because they said to pray on it.
Yeah.
Because we were struggling with the morphine thing.
We were just struggling with a lot of things, and just because we knew like this was the end for Koleson, and our pastors from one church came over, and we got to have a really good conversation with them, and they got to pray over Koleson and pray for us, and they just said, you have to just pray on it, like ask God for that confirmation. Is this what we're supposed to do? Are we supposed to give Koleson morphine? And like I said, that's all we ever wanted. I wanted God to guide us.
Sure.
What
please.
What we were supposed to do, and that was their advice. Pray on it. Ask God.
That's all I said. That's all they said.
And once they left, we get a call from his doctor, and she confirmed everything, literally, that he's on such a small dose. This isn't going to kill him. It's not meant to kill him. It's supposed to keep him comfortable.
Yeah.
And if he's in so much pain, I know that's what you guys want, is for him to be comfortable, because he deserves that. So we felt so much better about giving him morphine.
Oh, it's like a huge weight lifted.
It made us feel comfortable. Really from that day, the 28th, until the 3rd, we stayed up by his side, lived off energy drinks. We hung out in the living room. We had his light machine going in the living room. We watched Moana and Kato on repeat.
His favorite movies.
We were really blessed and lucky that Brew was able to stay with us because we didn't want, which a couple things. We wanted to know and witness Colson's last breath. I guess I'll speak for myself. I was really scared that we were gonna fall asleep and we were gonna wake up however many hours later and he died. And we didn't know it. Yeah. I did not want that. No. So like one of us were always awake. And we slept right next to him, like touching him.
Yeah, we had a sectional couch. You slept on one side of him, I slept on the other.
We were always literally by him, holding him, whatever. We started to invite family to come see him. And yeah. Mm-hmm. We invited his family to come see him. And I don't know if it was Wednesday or because I think Thursday was the first. Yeah, Friday was the second.
Wednesday the 30th.
But I know.
Yeah, Wednesday the 30th. Or 31st, whatever it is.
Yeah. But like my dad came with my mom, and my dad stood in the entryway. Like the second time. So my dad stood in the entryway, and Koleson was in his chair. My mom was talking to Koleson. But
Thursday the 30th. Yep.
But Koleson kept looking towards the entryway. Like he knew.
He knew your dad was over there.
Yeah. And my dad came over.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And
my dad came over to Koleson to talk to Koleson. And Koleson played my dad.
So hard.
So hard. He was like smiling, making his little sounds, interacting with my dad. And it was good to see. But my dad was like, "What do you mean this boy's dying?" And I'm like, "Trust me, we know." But that's how Koleson was. Like, Koleson was so strong that even though he was like actively dying, like his body was shutting down.
Yeah.
He still gave all of us those moments. I can tell this story so much. Like, I can tell this story. I've told this story so many times.
It's been a while.
Yeah. But, you know, my siblings, your siblings, everyone got to see him. And, what day was it? It was the 1st, which was Thursday.
Oh, okay, so, yeah.
Because there was a family Christmas party that we didn't go to. The plan was my sister and her kids were going to come over and we were exchanging gifts the 1st. And you could tell the haircut story. Because that was the day of the haircut.
Yeah.
Gotta gather myself a little bit.
No, you're good. It's hard, man.
Yeah.
So he slept again until 1. Yeah. You know, has been on 3 liters of oxygen, can't take him off it, same old spiel.
And we were on the floor. We brought mattresses out to the living room floor at this point.
Yep. And he woke up and he was so happy and energetic. And per usual, we were like, this is another calm before the storm, because this one felt different.
Yeah.
He was such a happy baby, burst of energy, that we were like, you know what? We were looking at him, we were like, if he's going to go, he needs to go out with his normal fresh cut.
Oh, yeah, his hair, he was overdue. Well overdue for a haircut.
Yeah, rightfully so, but...
And that was something in us, we're like...
He needs a cut.
He needs a fresh cut. So...
I saw the video on my phone. He was laughing and yelling. We're going, cutting his hair, going over it. He's kicking and moving,
And
and
usually we cut it in his one chair.
yeah,
But he just wasn't stable enough to go in his chair. So we put him in his hospital bed. It was a little rough, but we did it. But
mind you, he ended up getting the best cut he's had.
yeah, like we cut his hair in bed.
Perfect.
We had worship music playing on the TV. Just the vibe was there. We were just vibing with him.
And after that we took him off oxygen to try to give him a bath.
It's not funny, but we were like, I don't even know why. We were like, wanted to take him off the oxygen. I don't know if it's maybe it was for the bath.
Yeah, we had to give him a bath. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And that lasted a whole 2 seconds.
It was so scary. He was coughing and choking. Like,
turned blue
he could
instantly.
not breathe. As soon as we removed the oxygen from his nose, he could not breathe.
Yep.
So
quickly put that back on.
And we were like, oh my gosh, like that was so scary. Like he cannot go without oxygen. So we get him in his bath chair when he's getting a bath with oxygen on.
Mm-hmm.
And he got his bath and we got him all dressed.
Yeah.
And we put him back in his bed and I think we fed him. It was like we fed him at 4:00, but he closed his eyes and he was uncomfortable that night because when they all arrived at the house, he was uncomfortable. He was crying. We gave him his meds and we did Christmas with my sister and her kids and exchanged gifts. But I don't know what happened that night. If he stayed in his bed or we brought him out.
After everybody left, we brought him out.
We brought him out because then that takes us into Friday.
Yeah.
And it's like 5:30 in the morning, and Britt had to leave. She had things that she had to get done.
We called her that night.
We asked to come back because we just knew he was not good. And she was like, I can come back, but I have to leave Friday morning because she had things that she had to get done. So it's like 5:30 in the morning on Friday the 2nd. And I remember you're like, I don't want to be alone. Like, maybe we should like call my mom or someone. I'm like, well, we're calling mom. Like, we get to call both moms. It just seems fair. And we both agreed that we just did not want to be alone if Koleson passed. But we ended up calling your mom. I think I called her.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, I don't know what you have going on, but like, Brady wants you here. Can you come? She was like, yes. She got ready. She came out. I think my mom and dad, I think they had Jovi, but when I called my mom, she had to like wait until dad got home. I think it was like plowing or something. Yeah. And I think she ended up calling Wes and Emma over, and now my mom's at the house. So we had both of our moms at the house that Friday. Britt ended up coming back, and it was nice to have them there because we got to we hung out in the living room. The sun was shining that day because we have a big window in our living room, and the sun was hot because our living room got hot.
Yeah.
The sun was just so bright beaming into the house. And
it's in his little Buffalo Bills jammies.
Yes. Koleson was really uncomfortable. He cried. He was so distended. He was retaining fluid so bad. He was swollen.
It was worse than November.
So bad that we ended up calling the doctor, and we decided that Friday that we had to stop feeding him.
Mm-hmm.
So he got...
we cathed him.
Yes, because we cathed him, and when we cathed him, there was nothing that came out.
Still remember, it was just like sediment. The smallest bit, and then nothing.
There was nothing. So we knew his kidneys had shut down.
Yeah. And feeding him was serving no benefit. Actually, it was only harming him.
Yeah, so we stopped feeding him, and the only thing he got was morphine, Tylenol,
and gabapentin.
Gabapentin, yeah. So at this point, he's only getting pain.
He's only getting pain meds just to keep him comfortable. And at this point, he's not on monitors. Right? Like, he hasn't been on monitors, so we're not chasing numbers anymore. Yeah. I don't know. It just felt like we kept increasing his morphine little by little.
Literally. The amount and the frequency. Oh. But then when this happened, we were all crying and things felt really heavy. Koleson made us laugh. And
as Koleson always did.
Yeah. So I'm holding him on the couch, and he's kind of making this sound of like just being uncomfortable. So I was like, I'm gonna pick him up and I'm gonna take him to the window. Let him feel the sun for possibly one last time. But as soon as I stand up with him,
yeah,
Koleson just poops everywhere. I mean, just liquid crap. Everywhere. And everyone is just looking at me laughing because I could just hear it. I can't see it, but I just hear it splattering, hitting the floor. And everyone's
not
laughing.
The floor, the rug.
The rug. And everyone is laughing, and I'm kind of laughing, and I'm like, because I'm not surprised. Like, that was Koleson. Blowouts to the max. And I'm like, it's all over me, isn't it? So, sure enough, we had to get rid of the rug. We had to just roll the rug up and take it outside.
It was so bad that it wasn't even worth saving.
No. I had to change my clothes. We had to clean up Koleson. Change his clothes. And he ended up just being in a diaper, I think, after that.
Yeah.
But it just made us all laugh, and it lightened the mood a little bit. And we got to take him to the window, and then we sat back down, and
he just wanted to feel the sun on his skin.
Yeah. But really, I think that Friday is when that palliative nurse came out.
Yeah.
And mind you, his color, his color was fading.
He was cold.
He was cold, but not like cold.
No, but he was
getting
cold.
He was pale. He never opened his eyes. He was really still bloated. His breathing was different.
So palliative came out to see where we at in the process.
Yes, to see where we were at in the process.
Yeah.
It just really, his last breath could be any minute. And I remember his breath smelled different.
Oh, yeah, you swore on that.
His breath smelled like chlorine. So when she came, she listened to him. His heart was still going, but it was faint. And I asked her about, I was like, his breath smells weird. Because, so weird. But, we loved his, stinky breath is what we call it. His breath just had a smell to it. That it smelled, but it was weird. That, it was just Koleson's smell.
Yeah, we loved it.
So, it was really sad that his breath smelled
different.
So different. And it would just smell like chlorine and chemicals. It was weird. And I asked her about it. And she just was like he's dying. That is
a typical part of the process.
The process of dying. So that was a normal smell.
The burst of energy, the needing all the oxygen, the skin color change, the organs shutting down, not feeding, the increase in pain meds, the breath change, everything.
So she lived about 30, 40 minutes away, so she's like, I'm gonna hang out in Medina. Um, in case he passes, I'll be local. Because the plan is that because Coulson had a DNI DNR, he had palliative care. We did not have to call 911 when he passed away. We didn't need an ambulance. We didn't need a coroner. We didn't need any of this stuff to come to our house when he passed away. We just needed that palliative nurse to come. Well, um, he didn't pass away, and it was like later in the night, and she was like, I'm gonna go back home, but you could call me when he passes. You guys can call me and I'll come out. Because even though Coulson's nurse was here, she's not a palliative nurse, so she legally cannot pronounce him dead. That's why we would call that nurse. She's a palliative nurse, and she's in that palliative program, so there's a whole thing that she does to legally pronounce him everything. So, the day carried on, and we just, we would watch TV. Sometimes it was, we had nothing because it just was so, heavy that we just would try to sleep, but then we couldn't sleep, we couldn't eat. We kind of just hung out and just waited. And then there is this thing called the death rattle. And unfortunately,
that's legit.
Unfortunately, Coulson had that. It's where when your body is shutting down, all those secretions build up in the back of your throat. So through their breath, it just is like this rattle, raspy sounding.
It's every breath.
And it was just every breath. And like as Coulson got closer, his breathing worsened.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would take a breath, and then he wouldn't have a breath for like however many seconds. Like
right.
It just, the space in between each breath got longer and longer and longer. And I remember at one point, because he just was so, like, he was mentally, I think his brain, like, he was mentally gone first.
Yeah.
Like, he closed his eyes that Thursday night, and on the first, and they never opened again. But he was just pure dead weight. He was floppy. We had to put him on his cot, and no one really held him after that because it was just so hard to maneuver him, and that we wanted him to be comfortable. So I ended up going on the cot. We're laying next to him. I remember I had freaked out. I was like, I need to sleep. Like, I was like, I don't know, like, what to do. Like, the sound of him breathing was driving me crazy because it was so hard to listen to, but also, like, I'm running on no sleep for that week.
Yeah.
Like, just running on no sleep.
Literally. 3 days of no sleep.
Yes, literally. So, since there's, like, 5 of us, we're all kind of, like, taking turns napping. And we got to we won't talk about, the whole mishap that happened that Friday night. We're going to skip over that. I mean, we don't need to talk about that drama. But after this situation happened, I pulled Coulson's cot to the side of the couch, and I laid on the couch here, and I held his hand.
Yeah.
And you slept on the couch.
Like, right on. Yeah, right by you. Yep.
Yeah. Britt was napping. I think both of our moms were kind of up, and my mom's doing laundry for us, and we're really just waiting for Coulson to pass. And then, am I missing anything before I move on?
I don't think so.
Your grandma brought us Taco Bell somewhere.
Oh, there you go.
Friday night, she brought us Taco Bell. We didn't get to eat that.
Yep.
Anyways, we fall asleep, and I'm like lightly sleeping. I'm not in a deep sleep, and I'm touching Coulson the whole entire time. And I wake up. I don't even know. Out of nowhere, I just wake up. I'm wide awake. My mom's on the floor next to Coulson, and I feel Coulson. And through the blanket, he's freezing. And I remember my mom woke up and was like, what's going on? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like,
you said it, he feels like he's gone.
Yeah. And I could like
But
hit
he's
you.
still, yeah. But he's still breathing.
But he's still breathing.
And you turn around and whack me in the head.
Yeah, like, Brady, get up. And then my mom was like, do you want me to wake Brittany up? So my mom went and woke Brittany up. And I just remember saying, like, oh, I don't know. I feel like he's. I'm like, I feel like he's already gone. And he was so cold. He was like gray in color. And I'm like, I don't know, something's keeping him alive. And I was like, Britt listened to him. And she was like, his heart was still going, but it was so faint. And she was like, one of these breaths are going to be his last. And the breaths were so far in between. She was like, one of these will be his last. And I was like, let's turn down his oxygen. So I'm like, I just felt it. I was like, he's ready. Like, I don't know. So we turned down his oxygen. And we're kind of just sitting there talking, and all of a sudden he takes a breath, but then you hear nothing. No movement. No sound after that. So I think I just was like, oh shit, was that it? Like, I think it, like, you're just like, and like, you're just like, wait, like, was that it? So we all were like, I think that was it. So Bert gets down, and she sets her timer for a minute. And she's listening to him. And we're at this point, like, no one's crying. We're all just, like, waiting. And she goes, he's gone. Yeah. And we just cried. And, I just remember crying. And I'm just like, I'm sad, but I'm so proud of you, Koleson. I'm so proud to be your mom. And it just was so beautiful. And I remember, I'm like, I don't know why, but something in me, I wanted to listen for myself. So I put on the stethoscope and I listened to him. And just the pure silence within his body, it brought me peace, because when you would listen to Koleson before, his lung sounds, like, you just could hear the rattling, but you just could hear just how hard his breathing was, how hard it was for him to breathe. And I did it, and I look back and I'm like, why would I do that? But I don't know, I just did it, and it brought me peace listening to him.
Yeah.
Or listening to nothing in him. But I remember we kind of just sat there, and before he passed, like, we kind of had the plan of, like, we want to call everyone right away. We're not going to be able to just sit with his dead body. Like, we're not going to be able to look at him. So Britt called the nurse, let her know that 4:51 he passed. She's on her way to legally pronounce him. And I don't know if we sat there while she came. For some reason, we were not in the living room when she came. But I will say, for some reason, this is so weird, and Brady's still like, what is wrong with you? I was once Koleson passed, I was weirdly craving a Dunkin' Latte from Dunkin' Donuts. Like, I literally wanted one so bad.
So you made my mom DoorDash.
My mother-in-law DoorDashed Dunkin' for me. Um, and I totally felt so bad for the dasher because it was one early in the morning, but two, like we hear someone walking up the ramp and like someone, I think my mom or someone ran to the door because I'm like, this is so awkward. You have all of us just sitting around a little child's like dead body. Like Colston is just dead in the room. We're door dashing. Oh my gosh. And we had the door open because we had the screen window open. Um it was just something that I personally believed in, and we did this for my great grandma. That's why, is that when someone passes, that you crack a window, so their soul can depart to heaven. And that was the first thing that I wanted done as soon as Colson passed. Like my mom went and opened the door and opened the window for us, and we kept it open for a good chunk of that morning.
Yeah.
But yeah, the palliative nurse came. She did her thing. She called like the coroner because she just had to sign like this like release of body or body release or something. So it was just nice to not have a coroner come, to not have anyone else come.
Yeah.
They did it all. But I will say I did not mind sitting there in our living room. And there he was, there his body was, that he passed. It was not as weird as I pictured it to be.
No, what you think, how you think you're gonna feel when that time comes, you're so much more capable of handling it. Like, I was so proud of myself
Me too. I was proud of you for sure.
because of how hard it was for me, just the whole 2025 and all the conversations we were having that I couldn't have. I could have them, but I was, I don't know, it was so hard.
And
And
you sat there by him on the ground next to his cot and you held his hand the whole entire time. You never left his side. And I will say, Colson's body when he passed, he looked like a typical 4-year-old boy. If anyone knows Colson, he had chubby cheeks, and you just knew that you could kind of tell that he was different just by the way he physically looked. But when he passed, his body was beautiful. He lost all of that below.
all of the fluid that he was holding in, retaining.
He was beautiful.
He had a jaw.
Oh, you could like, yeah, just, yeah.
He had his fresh cut.
Yes,
he looked like a typical 3-4-year-old kid.
And while your mom and Britt and the palliative nurse kind of washed Colson up, and we went in the room to pick out his outfit of what he would go in. And I remember we cried in that room, in his room. We just cried. And we picked out, I think, one of like the best outfits. He got brand new clothes for Christmas, so we put him in brand new black pants, jogger pants. We picked out his Dr. Seuss shirt that says,
"Why fit in when you were born to stand out?"
So that was his undershirt, and then he had a brand new like button up, but like a button up like jacket, like sweater, like I don't know, it wasn't like a dress up button up, but it was like a button up flannel type of thing. He had that, and then he had green fuzzy socks that he wore all the time towards the end of life.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because his feet were always so cold.
Mm-hmm. So, they got him dressed, and the funeral home was running late. And, it gave us time that we didn't know that we needed Colson, or I guess wanted. Because from the time he passed, like 4:51 a.m. to the time he got picked up, like 7:30,
yeah,
8 o'clock-ish,
7:45, I think, yeah.
That time flew by.
Yep.
It flew by. So I remember, the funeral home director came with a van, and he came in first, and I don't know fully, but then he went back out and he got the stretcher. And that's when I lost it. because the stretcher had a beautiful quilted body bag. And it was hard to see the body bag, but it was so nice
It
that it
wasn't
was,
scary. It wasn't your ugly,
yeah, like black or
typical
white.
black or white bodysuit
It was
or
so
body bag.
beautiful. And it was time for him to go on the stretcher. And I leaned over him and I hugged him and I kissed him. And I just said, like, I love you so much, Colson. I didn't want to let him go. But I knew he had to, and I knew Colson wasn't actually in there. And then, you prayed for God to give you the strength to carry Colson over to the stretcher. And you picked him up and you walked him over to the stretcher and you put him on the stretcher, and we're all crying. You lost it, I lost it, and we're all crying. And then again, when we're crying like this, and we just need a break, all of a sudden, our washer starts banging around. You and I start laughing because we know exactly what it is. Everyone else is like, what the, is it thundering out? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, literally.
And we're like, oh my gosh, like that's our washing machine. Like, so for a split moment, we stopped crying.
Yeah, when I set him down, I lost it.
Mm-hmm. So I walked away. After that, I walked away. Because I could not see him get zipped up in the body bag. So I went to his room. I sat on his bed and I held his bear. And I looked out the window to the backyard. And I just cried. And then you came in. Yeah. And then I don't know, we eventually went back out to the living room and everyone was still there. Our moms, the paladin nurse, and Britt. And we all
Our moms got to push him outside.
We got to talk and we found out that our moms got to push the stretcher and help load him into the van. And we kind of just sat there talking, and we got to talk about the washing machine. My mom was like, what the heck? She's like, I did laundry all night. This is like my third load of laundry, and your washer never did that in the middle of the night. And then she goes, oh my gosh. She's like, Colson's clothes are in the washing machine right now.
She did our laundry the first 2 loads.
She did our laundry the first 2 loads. Colson's laundry was in the washer. And as we're all crying, bawling our eyes out because he's on the stretcher, has to get zipped up into this body bag, our washing machine makes that loud, obnoxious sound, and we all stop crying and are like, what the heck is that? And that's Colson. That was Colson.
To the T.
Yep.
The pooping. Making us laugh at the worst times. And making us laugh when we're bawling our eyes out.
But we just sat there just talking, and then I think everyone kind of left, and my like, I don't know, like, I think what they say, like, your heart is in your, like, stomach. I don't know, like, we just felt so sick and we just went to bed.
After we cried and cried.
But that is Colson's death story. It was very beautiful.
Very hard, but very beautiful.
And I feel like I'm doing more crying now than when it all happened, because I think
I remember Becca just talking about how we wouldn't want it in the hospital.
Yeah.
and I am so glad because we talked about what it would look like in the hospital,
We did.
and
We
she
planned it
answered
out.
because
Like if
she worked in the PICU.
and we planned it out. Like if he was passing in the
What do we
hospital,
want?
we want balloons. We want lights. Like we
Yep.
planned it out with the hospital what it would look like. Um,
And she walked us through what she saw, and whatever. We were prepared for it, but we are so glad that we got to be home and never went back to the hospital after
yes.
December 9th.
I think that um if there's anything that we could do for a loved one that is sick and at that stage of life, it is to be strong for them, um, keep them comfortable, and make whatever wish they have like come true.
Yeah.
Um, really put them first. Um, because even though like coming into life is like beautiful, death can be beautiful too. And we got to witness that, even though it just crushes my soul and my heart aches every single day not having Colson here. I'm just very thankful and blessed for the death that we got to like
Experience. Yeah.
experience with him.
Yeah.
Um, wow, I haven't cried this much. It's like so long. Hopefully, when
That
people listen, like, can they hear us through the tears and the pauses?
probably because we didn't have anything last night.
Let's end with this. What verse was it?
I don't even know. 34
Psalm 34, verse
8.
18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted. He rescues those whose spirits are crushed. And that is what we will continue to tell in our podcast episodes. Is how the Lord is with us and how He's helped us and is still helping us through the grieving process, the loss of Coulson, and just living life without Coulson.
Yeah. And learning to live again.
Oh,
that was a lot of crying.
That was a lot of crying. That was a heavy one, and I think this is gonna be the first time that we like publicly share this whole story.
So powerful and beautiful and hard, all in the same breath. Yeah. Proud of you.
Thank you, and I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
And if you
and I'm sorry.
I know I was like, I'm sorry if you listen to this. I also hope that you
could understand us first, and secondly,
we'll also just help you be okay with the idea of death. To not be afraid of it. Like that's why we share this story, is that I promise there are deaths out there that are absolutely beautiful. So yeah. But alright, enough of that.
Whew.
We gotta tune in next week. Hopefully we'll be done crying, because I don't like crying.
Next week I think we tell the story of what we found out that led to everything, and just another reason why God is just
all the signs that we've gotten.
Amazing. All right. I guess like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how we did. I don't know.
Yeah, share.
Hopefully it was helpful.
Yeah, please reach
Very
out.
hard.
Comment on YouTube. Comment on our page. Facebook message our page. We would really like to like interact with any in the audience that's listening.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's anything that you have questions on, or something that you want us to touch more on, just please let us know. We're definitely open.
Don't be afraid to. Yeah, please.
Alright, that's a wrap.
Alright, good job. Proud of you. That was a tough one.
So don't leave me hanging.
I won't. I just wanted to make sure it was a proper goodbye.